A big what's up to everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We have reached the point in every single Philadelphia 76ers season where all eyes are on the front office as they try to complete the task of making the team better going into the final stretch of the regular season right before the playoffs start. Unfortunately, we all know that deep down, no substantial move will be made overall. We call this trade deadline. So the Sixers are currently sitting over the luxury tax in contracts. I want to say $1.1 million, which isn't the most, tax that one can have, but just to keep them under the ceiling so Josh Harris doesn't have to pay fines. They will definitely be looking to make a small move. So just like, any other season over the last 5 years, the Sixers have been linked to multiple trade rumors, mainly with two players, the ones that you see in the thumbnail, Matisse as well as Furkan Korkmaz. In terms of Matisse, there are a lot of teams interested in him: Kings, the Hawks, the Warriors, and they want him due to his defensive prowess. He has 1 year left on his deal. Or rather, his deal is up at the end of this season. So the Sixers would like to get some value back. And this is a shame just because I remember like 2-3 years ago when Matisse Thybulle was all the rage among Sixers fans of how we didn't want to give him up. And a few years later, the common 76 Sixers fan could not give a damn. If he is indeed traded, I wouldn't necessarily be upset. Our defense is doing fine. We still have a top 10 defense in the league. And that is without Matisse getting that many minutes. So we really don't necessarily need him per se. The second one that I believe is just gone would be Furkan Korkmaz, who really hasn't played at all this season. Now, one, it could be because he is hurt. I've been seeing a lot of injury reports where they were saying that he has shoulder pain. But I would say that Glenn Doc Rivers hasn't been playing him just because of his lack of consistency on the floor. He barely even gets garbage minutes, to the point that he only steps in when we're up by like 20 with 1 minute left. Unfortunately, his career has not progressed the way that we hoped it would while in Philadelphia. He has had opportunities to show, but he just didn't take advantage. In my estimation, he will probably be included in the backup center trade since he is making $6 million. Other than those two, I think it also is important to recognize that these players may be on the chopping block as well. The first one is Daniel House, or Danuel House. This is basically off the fact that he's making almost $8 million off of the bench and isn't participating in the day-to-day rotations. He's a wing that we're not using, so just let him go for somebody else. Jared Springer, same basic thing, not because of the money situation, but more so because he's, a young player that can be used as a throw-in. And believe it or not, Shake Milton will also probably be on the Sixers' radar to get traded, because he's on the last year of his deal, and he's going to command probably the same amount of bread that Furkan did. And the Sixers probably will not pay him this summer. Shake has been playing very well this season, which probably also helps this theory, because teams will definitely be wanting to add him to their roster. There are two basic team needs: a backup five, as well as an athletic wing who can shoot. In terms of backup five, is mainly because, one, we don't play b-ball, Paul. Two, we haven't been getting boards in that department. Three, Montrez is not it if we're doing that, long term. There was a lot of theory that maybe PJ Tucker would play small ball five within the playoffs, which I don't necessarily disagree with. He's going to have to play to help us win, but being linked to players such as Nerlens Noel, Andre Drummond, and Jared Vanderbilt, this is a sign that we want stability in that position. In terms of the second team need, it would be an athletic wing who can shoot, kind of like the DeAnthony Melton role, just bigger with longer arms, just to help out with defensive responsibilities. Also, we're missing out on fast break slam a jam, a dunk, a tax, which can change the whole ties of games. When it comes to this, a PJ Washington comes to mind. Now the whole league is looking for a wing nowadays since the game is played on the perimeter. So go figure. I doubt one will come up available to the team, at least one that we won't have to pay that much on. If I had to choose which team need will be addressed, it would be backup center, just because it is more realistic overall. So yeah, in my opinion, the Sixers won't be heavy players come Thursday, but they will be looking to make a small move to solidify what they already have and to save the owner a few dollars. I'm close to 100% sure that Furkan will be gone, while Matisse is more so 50-50. And to reiterate, the team's biggest needs are wing and backup center, or at the very least, someone who can get a freaking rebound. I want to thank everybody for pulling up and listening to A Brother Think. Like, comment, share, subscribe with a Sixers Fiend if you feel so inclined. Who do you want the Sixers to trade and receive before the trade deadline on Thursday?